Go. Hello everyone, this is Across the Board with Jeff Grant here at SBRforum.com. Tuesday night NBA action heading to the Western Conference with the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Oklahoma City Thunder at Chesapeake Energy Arena in Oklahoma City. This one can be seen on TNT starting at 9:30, and the only number in the market right now in terms of a betting line is at Bet Online. They've established the Thunder as 8.5-point home favorites while the total sits at 214.5. Definitely look when the number is released at SBRodds.com. Should be around 10 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Pacific, as I shoot this early Tuesday morning from the city of Las Vegas. When you look at the Los Angeles Lakers, they are back to 500 for the first time since December 28th. What a feeling it is for fans in the Lakers, in Lakerland. I'm personally from Southern California. I know there's a lot of talk about this team potentially missing the playoffs, but they seem to be in position to make a run and grab that 8th spot at least, potentially moving up to the 7th spot. 5-1 in their last 6 games. Only loss coming in the second game of a back-to-back road situation in the Mile High City. And I've learned now, picking against the Nuggets in that situation the last 2 times and hosting a foe that's finishing out a back-to-back on the road, the Nuggets have burned me, and I knew about the situation. They are 44-8 now, the Denver Nuggets, when hosting a team that's finishing off a back-to-back at the Pepsi Center. So definitely write down that statistic. I'm more than aware of it now and need to adjust my power ratings when they land in that situation. 10-19 straight up on the road for the Lakers. 5-13 versus Western Conference opponents. And guard Kobe Bryant has really changed from facilitator mode again to scoring mode. 34.8 points averaging over his last 5 games, and he's averaged 33.3 in his last 6 meetings against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Of course, that including a Western Conference playoff loss last year. The Lakers are 6th in the NBA in scoring, averaging 102.3 points per game. Of course, Oklahoma City is 2nd behind only the Houston Rockets and averaging 106.7. The Lakers did come away with a 105-96 victory. That was on a Sunday ABC game against the Thunder on January 27th. They were listed as 3-point home underdogs in that game and going under the total of 208. The Lakers are 1-6 straight up on the front end when playing a back-to-back situation with both games being on the road. This team will play Wednesday night in New Orleans. 1-6 in that situation. When you look at Oklahoma City, they return after splitting a 2-game road trip, one of the tougher road trips that you can take against Western Conference foes, losing at Denver, but picking up a win in Los Angeles against the Clippers on Sunday. 108-104 as 3-point road underdogs. 26-4 straight up at home this year for the Thunder. 19-1 versus conference opponents and 18 straight wins in that particular situation. Of course, they picked up a 114-108 victory over the Lakers in their only home meeting when hosting the Lakers at Chesapeake Energy Arena. That coming as 7.5-point home favorites on December 7th, and that one climbing over the total of 212. This team does perform better at home offensively than on the road, even though there isn't too much of a difference in terms of offensive efficiency. 7-0 against the spread their last 7 home games versus teams with a losing road record, and it's all about Kevin Durant on the offensive end for the Thunder, especially in this matchup. Durant averaging 37.7 points versus the Lakers this season. Serge Ibaka is listed as questionable. That is something that I circled when handicapping this game. I expect him to be suspended for at least 3 games after his flagrant foul against Blake Griffin on Sunday. I think that's a key miss for this team on the defensive end, given the fact that the Lakers are one of the better offensive teams in the NBA. And also, when handicapping this from a sports betting trend perspective, if Ibaka can't go, it really highlights this, that the Thunder, they don't have a lot of losing trends, especially over the last few years. 10-11 versus teams that average 99 or more points per season this season against the spread, and 49-51 ATS the last 2+ seasons in that situation. I basically set this number at 8.5. When that's the case, I'm not going to play the game personally, but for the sake of the video, I always take the points in that regard. So my official pick on this play is the Los Angeles Lakers plus 8.5 against the Oklahoma City Thunder on Tuesday night. And continue the conversation on this game. We'll handicap it together on Twitter. You can use hashtag ATB ATB, which is, of course, the abbreviation for Across the Board. And follow me on Twitter at Jeff Grant Sports. This has been another edition of Across the Board with Jeff Grant here at SBRforum.com.